Welcome in, everyone. This is our flow recap for the week of 2/2 to 2/6. Sorry it's a little late. Typically we do these live on Fridays after close. I had some other stuff that I had to do Friday, and then I was booked all day Saturday, so this is just a very short one. We only had 3 trackable flow alerts for the week, and then we have 1 flow and charts play as well. We're going to start with the flow and charts play. So this came from 131, and if you're new to joining this, our let me pop this over here quick, sorry. The flow alerts, everything tracked will be in these flow alerts, ETF flow alerts, and then flow and charts channel here. Those are the only 3 tracked channels. And again, if you're new in the group, feel free to look at the top here. I do let you know what's tracked and what's not. So our first one is from that flow and charts. We're going to do our flow and charts play. So this came in on 130, so this wasn't a flow play at all. This was strictly macro. We were looking at UNG. I targeted that 320 UNG 16 put. So let's go over here, and again, this was a strict macro play. I mean, you can kind of look at the chart there. You had a little head and shoulders kind of on the daily potentially there. Had resistance at that 1694. We were just slightly above it. What I saw though was temperatures were supposed to rebound from the super cold spell and all the blizzard, and I mean just kind of looking from that time as well too. If you look at that price range from that January 16th to that time, I mean we were up 70% almost on UNG, so due for a pullback after that big cold spell and the um, big run up as well there too. So open those on 130. We got the big gap down on Monday there. And I do have the contract here. So that 32016 put, they are deep in the money. But if we look at that from 130, so we're going to look at that contract there. So contract low, again, I was in at 165. I mean, we were pretty close to the end of the day with those. Huge gap. They hit 407 for a high there that day. That is 146.67% on that flow and charts play. So very phenomenal trade there on that one. So let's go over to the flow alerts now. And again, if you are new to this, all my flow alerts are posted in real time. I don't edit anything in here, so everything's time stamped. So let's look at our flow. So we had just 3 kind of decent solid trades this week. Again, you don't need 1,000 pieces of flow. It's earnings season. We were going through a lot of volatility. So you look for the super quality ones and you stick to that. So up first, we had the SPY 227.675 puts come in. So we're going to pop back to 2.3 here. So this was actually an in and out that same day for the whale. We are going to look at the full move of the contract though, but this is a pretty textbook in and exit, in and out same day. So now when I say textbook, I'm just kind of looking at that candle here. So one large ask side candle, 3,000 contracts, 3,086 to be precise. And then you have 3,000 other contracts coming in here at the bid. This is probably visually a very clean enter and exit. And how do I know this is an enter and exit? Let's look at February 3rd. 7,400 contracts were traded on the day. You had 1,417 carryover. That whale is out. So let's look at that flow here at the time. And if you are returning to my videos, you know my flow is usually always pretty textbook here. So flow starts to come in here as it repeated hits. Small little IV drop, not a huge deal there because it's probably not part of that trade at all. So I'm looking at that full internal here of that contract. So you can see it's a repeated hits ascending fill. That means that spot price is increasing. IV is increasing here. So IV stayed at that 1635. We are continuing to fill at the spot. Looks pretty good there. Would read this as a buy. And this whale again took them off the same day, so 444, and sold them at 645. So good return for the whale. Now let's look at that full move here because these contracts actually ran a lot more. So here we are back on February 3rd here, and then there's your small little whale exit. These actually continued to run. It was a very volatile week, so they hit their high on 2.5 here of 12.19. So we're looking at the high of the contract from that whale entry to the max return of that contract. Again, you're probably not going to exit at the max, but I just like to show that full context of that contract and what they can run. So massive move on those, hitting that 12.19 high, 173.93 max return percent on those. So great return on the SPY put there. SoFi calls. These came in on 2.4. Let's go take a peek at these. These were also another good trade here. So again, 6,400 contracts coming in on 2.4. Just ignoring that 11,000, 6,400 does not fit into that 1832. You know 100% for sure this can be identified as an opening trade. Now again, do we know if it's buy to open or they're selling to open? This is where looking at the candles makes a big difference, and again, analyzing the internals of the contract. So let's go see if we can find where that whale came in. And I see them right here. So we're going to have to pop back up to another tab here, but what I'm looking at is earlier in the day, not so much there, since that alert technically came in later in the day. We're focusing on that one there, but that's, you can see when that flow comes in, and we would have had some more flow within that time. Let's see if I can pull it because it's a little late. Okay, so here's our repeated hits. Let me come back down here to 6. I need to pop this back to 2.4. Give me 1 second here. Oh, we are on 2.4. Alright, here we go. So that IV rose when that came in, so we're now looking at that 67, 68 that entire time. Spot is filling with the ask there. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Looks good that entire way up. Spot filled at the ask that entire time. IV rose from that 66. Let's see if it'll let us pop back, just because sometimes there's so much data on here it can get a little funky. Let's see. Maybe up here. I won't spend too much time on this because you get the gist. So I mean, like, here's part of that there. I mean, where that IV increases, just different sizes kind of coming in. So I am that original flow there though. Let's click back on it one more time. You can also, and I also like to mash this up with the call premiums here. That same day though, I mean, you weren't getting ask side call premiums, but the good part was you were seeing those bid side put premiums coming in here. So could be a sign. It was down like 10% on the day, so just kind of combining a couple different tools, longer term flow, and that bid side puts dropping off. That can be a sign. Okay, I want to just show the IV one more time at the beginning here. So that 67, 68, then you just see how it spiked when it came in there, pretty much. So that was the SoFi. And there's your entry. So you got a small run that same day. They came up from that 84 there to about 1 there, kind of chopped there towards the top there. Not a... that's a... And what I like to tell people is I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I usually talk about it more in my lives, but I like to see if I'm up 10% on something, usually I have a stop at break even on. Especially when you're following flow, because you don't know truly what that whale is fully doing. So you have to be a little more cautious that way. Now, if it's your own trade that you charted out, found all this other stuff, it's a little different. But knowing you don't know what this whale fully knows. So I'm a little more cautious on these trades, and I'm quicker to take profits. But you're up here. These make that intraday run of 28.57%. That is a good return. That is a really solid, strong return. Now, the next day, these drop. So, good example here. You know there's a lot of volatility in the market. Something, and I actually traded this one. I took profits that same day on that run up. I mean, that's, there could be a gap down. There's been gaps all weeks. Smarter to take profits. Now, if you took profits and you notice that whale's still in, well, hey, maybe you want to buy that dip and ride it back up potentially if it goes back up. And these actually recovered here on Friday. So out of that, so 11,000 contracts traded here on 2/4. We had 8,400 carryover. More than likely, our whale held a majority of their position. Could have maybe took some small size off here. Again, a lot of these names that are more retail friendly, you see a lot of volume on them. So that's kind of why it is important to actually find these opening trades versus smaller, like 200, 300 volume contracts. So we can assume most of our whale is in here. We could have had some contracts passed off here on 2/5. And when I say passed off, you see 4,500 contracts, roughly 4,500 contracts traded here and slightly at the bid there. And no big open interest change here on 2/6. So whoever passed off some of these contracts, and more than likely it's going to be this whale here, assumingly, just because nobody else, just kind of glancing over, unless somebody's really sizing in there, nobody else has 4,000 contracts to get rid of out of that 6,000. So that whale could have sold some there to somebody else, or it could be maybe retail all of this added up, maybe some big retail trader took some off there, but more than likely it's that whale. They're just kind of based off what that whale's size was compared to that size. So it's, again, only 2,000 contracts. I mean, you could be in there, but I'm going to say it's probably part of that whale trimming some of their position to manage some risk. Now, we have a bunch of volume on Friday as well, too. And so if I made that recovery on Friday here, so I mean, bid side there, and you're seeing a lot of bid side here near the high of the day. We won't know until Monday, but 3 different scenarios for this volume and open interest. That open interest will more than likely drop to round 0, maybe a very, very low number. This open interest will increase, which would mean that this whale added at the bid, or this open interest will stay the same, give or take maybe a couple hundred. And again, same for the upside. If it changes, could give or take a couple hundred. If this open interest doesn't change, somebody else owns these original contracts. So they did hit their high of 108 there on Friday, yes. Days are all messed up now. And I also realized my math was off there a little bit, that 84 to, what did I say, 1 for a high. Little under 20% on those, but still, again, I mean, 8% difference there, still a good return there. So good return on those. I would double check that open interest on Monday. Again, the 3 scenarios are more than likely going to be there. I will make a good guess that whale probably got out Friday. So last name here, Apple. Little time on these here, and what I think I'm going to do too, I'm going to keep these names on my list for the month, and I'm just going to kind of look at the full flow recap at the end of the month, because we have names that move 3 weeks later on longer term flow. Like we had Nvidia puts a couple weeks ago, and now they're significantly up. So kind of want to track them maybe more on a month. So we'll do our weekly and then maybe full month recap. We'll see. We'll see about the timing. So these came in on Thursday, the 2/5 Apple 2765 puts. So we're going to look at Friday or Thursday here. 4,800, most of that carried over. Would assume this opening flow pretty much stuck in there. So it's kind of looking at the flow in real time. Come in here. So small little drop on that one. Let's see if I can find, because we had multiple candles on this one. Let's see if it's going to let me remove it here. Let's go back to 2-4. Where is my calendar? So let's see. Remove that. Sometimes it can be a little funky. We'll do it this way. Okay, I'm going to come back this way. Okay. So our average was 350 on these. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I was clicking that wrong candle. So this is the alert that was actually alerted. I can tell you that because I see where I bookmarked it. So you can see when that flow comes in here. Bigger IV spike. Spot is filling at the ask. Here we continue to fill at the ask. IV stays up. Stays up. Spot filled at the ask that entire time. Looked good there. So this one I'm going to actually go back into Thursday here. So this one, 350 was our fill, and you can see, I mean, that contract trade about 340, just maybe slightly above that 340 to 350 there, but you get a quick pop in here up to 417 here, 417, 418. That is a very quick 19% pop. Now, coming in at 9:40 Central Standard Time, up to 10, I mean, that's a 30-40 minute trade there where you see 20% there, and it's a little longer term. So like something like this, again, these were sitting up here that 390, 390s. I mean, for a big chunk of the day there, these contracts stayed green for a large chunk of the day, and then Apple ripped at the end. Like, this is always important to why I always tell people to have stops on, because I mean, you're not gonna that 350 to just chopping it. Let's say say 390. So 350 to just chopping at that 390. I mean, the contracts are only up 11% on the day, but again, you know there's a lot of volatility in the market. Market's been seeing big rips, big dips. You know the whale might be a little longer term. I like to throw a stop on there. Again, 11% to some people isn't significant enough, but again, if you're collecting trades over a long time of hitting 11, 15, 20% gains, you're going to be very happy instead of looking for the home run. Now, just kind of looking at that, I mean, it's a very quick rally up and then a quick drop down there. So, I mean, you have enough time to throw on a stop. Now, let's look at Friday here. Friday, now this is why, again, hindsight's going to be 2020 because we're talking about it now, but that's why securing the profits, because you get a gap down. Well, that whale looks to still be in, so maybe if you still like to short Apple here and you know that whale's still in, you can recycle those profits that you secured from the run up there. And I mean, you can see how long that run up was that same day. Again, whale's still in, you just never know what can happen. But little shorter trade recap that week. So you had those three plus our flow and charts play. Next week, I'm hoping starting to finally get out of earnings season, so hopefully we will start seeing some more trackable flow. But great week last week. It's all about the quality versus quantity. So have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.